The sky falls. New York City pulsed with its usual energy. Neon lights painted the night. Traffic honked in endless rhythm, and the familiar chatter of millions of voices echoed between skyscrapers. To the people below, it was just another busy night. But above the skyline, the stars began to ripple, as though the heavens themselves were shivering. The first sign came as a low hum, too deep to be thunder, too steady to be jets. Windows rattled, pigeons scattered. Then the sky itself split apart. A violent tear of violet and blue light ripped open the heavens, its edges sparking like molten steel. Energy surged outward in jagged waves, crackling across clouds. Gasps rose from the streets as phones tilted upward, trying to capture what no one could explain. Then came the shadow. A colossal warship emerged from the breach, its hull jagged and cruel, covered in glowing crimson runes that pulsed like veins. It was no May vessel, it was a fortress. Its sheer bulk blotted out the moon, plunging blocks into unnatural shadow. On a rooftop near Times Square, Spider-Man froze mid-swing. His spider sense shrieked like a fire alarm, sending cold shivers down his spine. "Okay," he whispered, crouching low. "That's definitely not a weather balloon." The ship groaned, releasing a surge of light. Then a voice boomed across the city, shaking glass and rattling hearts. "People of Ith," the voice thundered. "Your time has ended. I am Xar'Thon, Warlord of the Void. This world shall kneel." The invasion began. Hundreds of alien fighters spilled from the mothership, screaming through the sky like hornets. Plasma fire lit up the night, painting the skyline green. Drop pods rained down, smashing into avenues with seismic force. From each pod, soldiers emerged, towering warriors clad in black crimson armor, their weapons glowing with alien fire. The city descended into chaos. Civilians screamed and fled as blasts tore apart cars and storefronts. Explosions rattled Times Square. Sirens wailed but were quickly drowned by the roar of war. Spider-Man leapt into action. He swung low, firing webs to yank a mother and child out of the path of a collapsing streetlight. He landed hard, straining to keep his voice steady. "Don't worry, folks. Just your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, saving you from a full-blown alien apocalypse." An armored warrior lunged at him, blade raised. Peter dodged, flipped, and plastered the creature to a taxi with rapid-fire webs. "And that's what I call a sticky situation," he quipped, though his chest pounded. Two more aliens rushed him. He vaulted off one's shoulders, webbing the other across the visor before swinging them both into a lamppost. "Okay, new rule. No blades allowed on Ith." But for everyone he stopped, 5 more appeared. Plasma blasts seared past him, forcing him to cling to the side of a skyscraper for cover. His spider sense screamed constantly now, warning him of danger everywhere. From his vantage, he saw the true scope of the disaster. Times Square was a war zone. Flames engulfed taxis, civilians scrambled for shelter, and the alien warship above loomed like an omen of extinction. Spider-Man's hands shook as he pulled out his communicator. "Avengers, hi, it's me, Spider-Man. Just checking in because I don't even know what we've got. Giant ship, scary soldiers, laser fireworks. Honestly, I'm way out of my league here. So if anyone's free, like, right now, please." Static. His heart sank. Then, finally, a voice cut through. Calm, confident, familiar. "Relax, kid. Help's on the way." Relief hit Peter like a wave. Iron Man. Man, am I glad to. He flipped off the wall as a blast scorched the glass where he'd been. "Okay, less talking, more blasting." Before he could say more, the ground in Times Square split open. A massive drop pod slammed into the street, shattering asphalt. From within, something even larger stepped out. The alien warlord himself had arrived. Xar'Thon towered above cars, clad in crimson armor etched with glowing sigils. His golden eyes burned with the fire of twin suns. In his hand was a blade of pure cosmic energy, its hum resonating like thunder. He raised the weapon and struck it into the ground. The impact sent out a shockwave that flipped cars and shattered every window within blocks. Civilians screamed as the earth itself seemed to bow before him. "This world will fall," Xar'Thon declared. "Your heroes will fall, and your strength shall feed the void." Spider-Man crouched on the glass wall of a skyscraper, his whole body trembling. His instinct screamed at him to run, but he clenched his fists tighter. "Come on, Pete, just hold the line. They're coming. And then, streaking across the horizon like a comet, a red and gold figure cut through the sky. Iron Man was inbound. Fire away. The ground shook again with a deep, primal roar, the sound of an unstoppable force awakening. The invasion had begun. The sky had fallen. And the first true battle for Earth was about to start. Iron and rage. The streets of New York shook under the weight of war. Fires raged where plasma blasts had torn open storefronts. Sirens wailed, drowned out by the shrieks of alien fighters weaving through the skyline. Civilians ran through the smoke, scattering like ants as armored invaders advanced step by step. Spider-Man swung through the chaos, webbing shut one drop pod before it could open. He landed on the side of a skyscraper, heart hammering. Okay, Pete, breathe, it's just an alien invasion. Totally normal. Just another night in New York. Then a golden red comet streaked across the sky. Iron Man rocketed into the fray, his repulsors blazing. His new suit gleamed in the firelight as his targeting systems locked onto incoming fighters. He fired a barrage of micromissiles that split the night with thunder. Explosions blossomed across the air, alien drones falling in showers of sparks. Tony's voice came through Spider-Man's comms, sharp and calm. Relax, kid. The cavalry's here. Spider-Man exhaled, relief surging. Iron Man. Man, am I glad to. He dodged a plasma bolt mid-sentence, flipping through the air. Okay, less talking, more blasting. Iron Man swooped low, landing beside him in the rubble. Stay mobile. That tech's nasty, but I've got a few tricks up my sleeve. Before Peter could reply, the ground shook violently. A sound like thunder roared across the street. From the shadows of a collapsed building, a massive green figure emerged. His skin glistened, his eyes burned with fury, and his fists clenched like sledgehammers. Hulk had arrived. He let out a primal roar that rattled the air and charged straight into a squad of alien warriors. His fists came down like meteors, shattering armor and flinging enemies like ragdolls. Plasma fire ricocheted off his skin as he plowed through tanks and drop pods without slowing. Spider-Man perched on a traffic light, wide-eyed. Oh, thank God. Big Green's here. This just went from impossible to, well, slightly less impossible. Iron Man hovered above, scanning the field. Banner's in a mood. Let's make use of it. For a moment, hope surged. Together, the three legends began to push back. Spider-Man's webs tangled alien soldiers, pulling them into Iron Man's precision blasts. Hulk smashed through enemy lines, clearing the streets in tidal waves of destruction. But then the air grew heavy. A new presence fell upon the battlefield. The alien warlord descended. Xar'Thon, taller than Hulk, armored in crimson glowing with molten veins, landed in the center of Times Square. His golden eyes burned with otherworldly fire. In his hand, he carried a blade of pure cosmic energy, humming with lethal power. The ground trembled at his arrival. Cars flipped. Glass shattered. Silence spread across the street as even the alien soldiers paused, awaiting their master's command. So, Xar'Thon said, his voice a thunderous growl. These are Earth's champions. A boy in cloth, a man in metal, and a beast of rage. Good. I prefer when my prey fights back. Spider-Man's knees went weak, but he forced himself to stand tall. Okay, scary alien overlord with the glowing sword. Just letting you know, Earth has a strict no-visitors policy. Hulk roared, pounding his chest. Hulk! Smash! He charged, fists raised high. Xar'Thon welcomed him with a grin. Their clash was like thunder colliding with lightning. Hulk's fist struck the warlord's blade, the shockwave ripping cracks through the pavement. For a moment, they seemed evenly matched, but then Xar'Thon unleashed a surge of cosmic energy that blasted Hulk backward into a skyscraper. Concrete rained down as the green giant groaned, stunned. Iron Man, you're up. Spider-Man shouted. Tony didn't hesitate. He unleashed his full arsenal, repulsors, shoulder rockets, and his chest unibeam. Explosions engulfed Xar'Thon, smoke billowing across the battlefield. Spider-Man landed beside him, panting. Did we get him? The smoke cleared. Xar'Thon stood untouched, rushing off the flames as if they were sparks from a candle. His blade pulsed with more energy than ever. With a single sweep, he swatted Iron Man from the sky, sending him crashing through a billboard. Spider-Man's throat went dry. His spider sense screamed. The Warlord's gaze locked on him. "You are fragile, little insect," Xar'Thon said, stepping forward. "Yet you leap. You fight. Perhaps I will enjoy breaking you most of all." Spider-Man's heart pounded. Every instinct told him to run. But he stood firm. He had to. He fired webs, leaping across the battlefield, darting between swings of the cosmic blade. "Yeah. Well, you should know. I've been broken before. And spoiler alert, I get back up." As Xar'Thon's blade carved through a bus, Spider-Man's comms crackled again. Tony's strained voice came through. "Kid, stole him. 10 seconds. That's all I need." 10 seconds. Spider-Man shouted, dodging another swing. "In case you haven't noticed, 10 seconds is my entire lifespan right now." But he fought anyway, because that's what heroes do. And in the rubble, Hulk stayed again. His eyes glowed brighter, his rage deeper. The real clash had only just begun. Clash of Legends. The ruins of Times Square smoldered like the aftermath of a fallen star. Neon signs flickered weakly through the smoke, and fires crackled in the wreckage of crushed taxis and shattered storefronts. Above the chaos, the alien warship loomed like a predator, its core glowing brighter as if feeding on the destruction below. In the center of the battlefield stood Xar'Thon, Warlord of the Void. His crimson armor blazed with molten veins of energy, his cosmic blade humming as though alive. Each step he took made the ground tremble. Spider-Man perched on the twisted metal of a toppled billboard, chest heaving. He glanced between his two battered allies, Iron Man, armor sparking and cracked, and Hulk, emerging from rubble with fury in his glowing eyes. "This guy's basically Space Thanos with a glow stick," Peter muttered. "So, plan B. Or C. Honestly, I'll take Z at this point." Iron Man's HUD was filled with red warnings, but his voice remained steady. "Kid, keep him distracted. Hulk, hit him harder than you've ever hit anything in your life. I'll find a weakness." Hulk snorted, pounding his chest. Hulk always smash hardest. With a roar, Hulk charged. The ground split beneath his feet as he launched himself into Xar'Thon with fists like wrecking balls. The clash was thunderous, metal against flesh, cosmic energy against brute force. A shockwave blasted outward, flipping cars and shattering what remained of the windows. For a fleeting moment, Hulk held his ground, but Xar'Thon twisted his blade, releasing a surge of violet energy that sent Hulk flying through 2 buildings. The green giant roared as he vanished in a cloud of dust. "Banner's gonna need a chiropractor," Iron Man muttered. He unleashed his unibeam, a blinding column of blue-white energy straight at Xar'Thon's chest. The blast struck true, lighting up the night like lightning. Spider-Man swung past, eyes wide. "Yes, did we?" The smoke cleared. Xar'Thon stepped forward, unscathed, his golden eyes glowing brighter. "You mortals amuse me." With a flick of his wrist, he hurled his blade's energy outward, disabling half of Iron Man's systems in a single strike. Tony spiraled mid-air, struggling to regain control. Peter's throat tightened, but he forced himself to move. He darted around the Warlord, firing webs that wrapped around Xar'Thon's legs and arms. He yanked hard, pulling with every ounce of strength. "Hey, Glow Eyes. Over here. Ever try Pilates? Cause you look seriously tense." For the first time, Xar'Thon paused, glancing at the nimble insect weaving around him. Then, with terrifying ease, he ripped through the webs. He swung his blade, so fast Peter barely managed to twist out of the way. The strike carved straight through a bus, splitting it in 2. "Okay, note to self, don't end up like public transportation," Peter gasped, leaping higher. Hulk roared back into the fight, leaping from the ruins with debris still clinging to his body. He slammed into Xar'Thon's back, pounding his fists into the alien's armor. Cracks formed, glowing lines spiderwebbing across the crimson plating. Iron Man seized the opening. "That's it. Banner, hold him. Parker, keep moving." Spider-Man swung down, wrapping more webs around Xar'Thon's arm and pulling, forcing his blade down. Iron Man charged his reactor to maximum, HUD screaming warnings, core overload imminent. Come on, come on." Tony gritted his teeth and fired. The unibeam struck the cracked armor, and this time, Xar'Thon staggered backward with a snarl. "Yes!" Spider-Man shouted. "We actually hurt him." But Xar'Thon only laughed, his voice shaking the air. "Pain is nothing. You think you can defeat the Void. The mothership above rumbled, its colossal cannon beginning to glow. Energy spiraled at its core, charging for a shot that could level half the eastern seaboard. Iron Man scanned it, face grim. That cannon fires. We're done. All of us. Spider-Man's stomach dropped. So, Plan Z. Tony sent a quick schematic through comms. It was insane. Use Hulk's kinetic force, Spider-Man's speed, and Iron Man's reactor energy. Combine everything into one united strike aimed directly at Xar'Thon's chest. Peter stared at it. That's not a plan. That's basically a suicide note with extra steps. Welcome to hero work, kid, Tony replied. Hulk cracked his knuckles, snarling. Hulk ready. Above them, the mothership's cannon pulsed, seconds away from firing. Below, Xar'Thon raised his blade high, energy swirling like a storm. Spider-Man's spider sense screamed louder than ever. He looked at his two allies, then clenched his fists. All right, legends. Time to collide. With a roar, the three heroes charged. United strike. The night sky over Manhattan boiled with violet fire. The alien mothership's cannon pulsed, a sphere of unstable energy growing brighter with every second. Buildings trembled as if the whole city could feel what was coming. If it fired, New York and half the eastern seaboard would be reduced to ash. On the shattered streets below, three heroes stood battered but unbroken. Spider-Man, Iron Man, and Hulk, Earth's last defense against the alien Warlord. Xar'Thon loomed before them, his crimson armor cracked and glowing, cosmic energy seeping through the fractures like magma. His golden eyes burned with fury as he raised his blade, its edge crackling with the power of the void. You are brave, Xar'Thon thundered, his voice echoing through the ruins. But bravery cannot change fate. You will kneel, as all worlds have knelt before me. Spider-Man crouched low, one lens of his mask shattered, his body trembling with exhaustion. Still, he forced a quip through ragged breaths. Yeah, here's the thing. We don't do kneeling. Except maybe in yoga class. Hulk snarled, slamming his fists into the ground. Hulk, break destiny. Iron Man's HUD blared warnings, power critical. Weapons offline. Armor compromised. But Tony Stark's voice was steady. Kid, big guy, we've got one shot. All or nothing. Spider-Man's heart pounded. You mean, the crazy suicide plan? Tony smirked beneath the helmet. Exactly. My kind of plan. The battlefield erupted as Xar'Thon charged, his blade slicing the air in a streak of violet lightning. Hulk roared and met him head-on, fists colliding with cosmic steel. The impact shook the earth, sending cars tumbling like toys. Iron Man soared above, unleashing every ounce of repulsor fire he had left. Spider-Man darted between strikes, firing webs at the Warlord's arms, legs, anything to buy seconds. Now, Parker. Tony shouted. Spider-Man swung high, firing webs with pinpoint precision. He tethered Hulk's arm and Iron Man's armor, slingshotting them together in a perfect line of attack. Teamwork time, baby. Hulk let out a primal scream, leaping forward with fists raised high. Iron Man's chest reactor glowed like a miniature sun, overloading as he unleashed a blinding unibeam. And Spider-Man added his own momentum, webbing himself to the strike to amplify its force. Three legends, one united blow. Their combined attack slammed into Xar'Thon's chest, directly into the fractures of his armor. The Warlord's body convulsed as cracks spiderwebbed across his crimson plating. Cosmic energy erupted in streams of golden light. Xar'Thon staggered, roaring in fury. I am eternal. But Hulk wasn't finished. With a roar that shook the heavens, he smashed both fists into the Warlord's chest, driving him backward. Iron Man's unibeam poured into the blow, tearing the last of the armor apart. Spider-Man yanked hard with his webs, keeping the strike locked in place. The result was cataclysmic. Xar'Thon screamed as his body collapsed under the combined force. His blade shattered, exploding into shards of cosmic energy. He was hurled upward into the sky, straight into the collapsing rift above. The mothership's cannon reached critical mass, then imploded. The violet rift consumed the Warlord in a storm of light before sealing shut with a deafening boom. And just like that, silence. The war was over. The mothership broke apart in the sky, its wreckage burning as it fell harmlessly into the ocean. The streets of New York lay in ruins, but the people were alive. One by one, Civilians stepped out of hiding, staring in awe at the three figures standing victorious among the smoke. Spider-Man collapsed onto the hood of a wrecked cab, pulling off his crack mask. So, anybody else craving shawarma? Because I could really go for shawarma. Iron Man landed beside him, sparks still flickering off his armor. He chuckled weakly. Kid, after that, you're buying. Hulk stomped forward, dust and fire clinging to his massive frame. His breathing slowed, and for once, a grin tugged at his lips. Hulk, hungry. The three heroes looked at one another, bruised and battered, but alive. Against impossible odds, they had stood together. They had faced the unthinkable, and they had won. Above them, the sky cleared, stars shining once again. The world was safe, for now, because when legends unite, even the void itself cannot consume the earth.